Hello guys, and welcome to another week of sales with me, John Shepherd Sales. Today I'm going to be going through my sales from last week, and my God, this was a big week. Trust me, some of the sales on this are record breaking for myself. Probably, yes, actually, yeah, the biggest sale I've ever had in my reselling career so far. Plus, I had some auction sales, put a few things on auction. But mainly, yes, my vintage toy is now sold and it's got a new home. So I'm going to tell you all my sales through this week. And yeah, it's been a very good week. So if you are new to this channel, I am an eBay reseller. Sell on multiple places: eBay, Vinted, Poshmark, Facebook, when you get the odd thing that you cannot be bothered to ship around. But mainly I am an eBay seller, and yeah, I basically sell anything that I can find for a good bargain and sell it on for profit. So this week has been very good for sales, and it's been not the highest amount of sales, but the biggest profit. So last week I got a total of 22 sales, which is not that much when you think about it. 22 sales in a week is not that much, but sometimes just because you haven't sold that much doesn't mean you can't make that much. It depends on obviously what you sell, what the prices are of the thing you sold. You could sell 100 things, but if they're all worth £1, you're only going to make £100. So don't go just on sales and think people are selling more than you and they're making more than you. Obviously, the stuff you do sell depends on how much you make, So if you sell a lot of high-end stuff, you're going to obviously make a lot more money than somebody selling like £5 stuff. So don't worry much on, number of sales. Just think about how much you're actually making. In total, I had 22 sales, 6 on Vinted, 16 on eBay, and zilch on Poshmark. Anyway, I'm going to go through my Vinted sales first, which is obviously the 6 of them. And at the moment, I am croc crazy. Yes, croc crazy. My son seems to pick crocs from nowhere out of the sky. He is the croc man. We call him the croc man now in this house. And I actually picked these ones up, and I literally picked them up in the day and I sold them in the day. So I picked up a pair of green Crocs kits, picked them up for £2, sold them for £12. Also, I sold a vintage Fred Perry. I think it's an 80s one, so it's proper old school, typical stripes, green badge. Yeah, somebody offered me £20 for it. I think it was on there for 25. Somebody offered me £20, so straight away I sold it for £20. In the car boot, which I did a couple of weeks ago, the videos are obviously on here, so go and check them out if you haven't seen them. I bought a couple of baseball gloves and with a ball. One of them sold, a Rawlings one. It's a youth one. Sold for £12. I bought both gloves and baseballs for £5. So yeah, it owes me basically nothing, £2.50 basically. Yeah, so I made £9.50 off the one glove. So the other one is obviously, well, more than pure profit when I sell the other one. Finally, I sold my SpongeBob SquarePants large backpack. I do not know why this has been hanging around for so long. It is brand new and it is brilliant. I mean, if I was a kid, I would be wanting this. Yeah, I picked it up for £3.99 or £4, and it sold for £14.99 on Vinted. So good sale. I wanted more than that. I think it's worth more than that, but obviously on Vinted you just can't get the higher prices. Also on that car boot, which I did on the Sunday video, that was where I went around. I picked up that very expensive leather suitcase carrier case, and I picked up some Crocs. I sold the white ones for £22.50. Obviously I bought them for £3, so I made a £19.50 profit off them Crocs. Crocs at the moment are my, I would say, my breadwinner. They just sell. I mean, literally, if I put some on, I picked some up today. I literally picked some up today, and I guarantee you, as soon as I put them on, when I've cleaned them, they will go even in not that good condition, they're just really popular because it's the summer and they're the go-to shoes at the moment. Love Island's on as well, so everybody's going to be buying Crocs like crazy because obviously they wear them. So if you do find some Crocs, pick them up straight away. Couple of quid, you'll sell. Kids ones for 12 to 15. Adult ones you'll sell for about 20 to 25. You can get better ones, but I haven't picked up any of them yet. And my last sale on vintage was my Asics Noosa Tri 13 trainers, women's trainers. Absolutely loved these trainers. I mean, if these was my size, I would have kept them. I actually bought these off Vinted and I sold them back on Vinted. I paid a bit up for these. I paid £10.94, but I did sell them for £30. So I made just over a £19 profit. By the way, as Transformers is coming out this week, look at that. Optimus Prime, the last night, and it is awesome. Fully working and voice activated. Subscribe to my channel if you like, or I will be back. Wait a minute, I'll be back is not that's Terminator, isn't it? Yeah, this is on my eBay store at the moment. I think I'm selling it for £25. So if you are interested, comment down below and we can do a deal. I can sell it for a few pounds cheaper if you want. Anyway, enough of trying to sell stuff to all the people who watch. I'm now going to go on to the eBay sales. Obviously, I have got, this is where most of my profit came from. Gonna go through, well, actually I have got a couple of them. I don't know where they are. I picked up a couple more. All right, Chuck. Right, I did pick up a couple of, so first sale is the first sale on eBay is a repost cushion. So the first sale, so like I said, on eBay I sold 16 items. 2 of them are auction. 2 of them I sold on auction, but the rest was just obviously buy now. First sale was a repost cushion. It's from the NHS. It's for obviously for the older people who it's a inflatable basically cushion. Yeah, I picked this up on Sunday, 2 of them, and it's worth about £5. That's what I picked up. I picked up a bundle of stuff and it works out to £5. I sold this one because it was used for £30. I have got 2 others of these, brand new, unopened, and they can sell for about £60, £70. They're about £114 brand new. So if you do see these things, pick them up. Next I sold 7 BHS like cookware vintage pot, you know, porcelain things. It's a set. There's a like toaster rack and some pots and some Shogun things, salt and pepper things. Had them for quite a while. I'm glad to get rid of them. I didn't make much of a profit. I only made £4.64 profit because I sold them for £16. I bought them for £10, thinking because it's British home stores and obviously they're not around anymore, they'd be worth more. I had them on for a lot more. I think I had them on for about £30, but I just want to get rid of it now. I'm sort of like getting away from the crockery, pottery, only if it's worth like a lot. I used to buy a lot of like big job lots of porcelain and stuff, but it just lies around for ages, and if it's not really, really good quality, people don't want it. One of my first perfume sales of my career, and I bought a Laura Ashley. It was in one of my videos recently. Bought a Laura Ashley perfume bottle. It hasn't been used. It's been opened, but it hasn't been used. Bought it for £5, sold it for 30. Now, one of my first auction sales. A while back, I bought this very, very nice suit. It was tailor made one from London, Holland and Sherry, and then it was tailored by Matthew Elliott from London. Checked it out. The material itself is worth £90. If you look at any of that company's material, they basically make the material, and then you have to go to a tailor. So usually on eBay they're selling for around £100. I put it on auction because it was a weird size. It was very like big but narrow in like the leg, so it's basically a short fat man, but really short. I put it on auction for £50 starting bid, and somebody bought it. Yeah, somebody bought it for £50. One bid, £50. Paid £5.50 for this suit, so I made a £40 profit. Well, and 28p. Yeah, so well worth if you have got stuff that's been lagging around, but it's, you know, it's expensive. Put it on auction. You probably sell it. You know, just lower it down a little bit. Obviously, I only paid £5.50 for it, so I knew I was going to get money back off what I paid for it anyway. One of my biggest sales of the week. I bought a set of DUNLOP Max golf clubs. The whole set, 13 clubs. A brolly in it, the bag. These are more the higher end of the DUNLOP range. Obviously, DUNLOP is absolutely terrible for golfing, but it's like the sort of I would go to if you were starting out, because when you get to the really good golf clubs, you're looking at £200 to £300 per club. So yeah, picked it up for £15 and I sold it for £80. So it was really in good condition. I wouldn't say it was in the best condition. I had a bit of like mold where it's obviously left in the shed, so I cleaned it off as best I could. Described it as what I just told you. The golf clubs was used. Obviously, it had scratches on, but yeah, it went. Basically, a bloke said, "What's your best price you can do on it?" I said 80, because I had it on for 100, and he went, "Yeah, I'll pay for it now." So yeah, that went today, and yeah, a lot of cardboard. Literally a lot of cardboard. So something I bought the same week and I sold the same week was a Days Tri Walker, a chrome one. Literally, I put it on for a couple of days and it sold for £30. Bought it for £5, and yeah, made a £19 profit. The next item is going to the USA. It's a Sony retro little hand radio. Absolutely lovely. It works. It's just nostalgia, you know. I wouldn't say it's like looks really old, but I'm thinking about maybe 80s, maybe early 90s, you know, with the big aerial, it goes up for miles. Absolutely cool as. Yeah, these usually sell for about £50, but I didn't have no interest, so I lowered it down to about 35. Somebody came in with a bid for 30. I went, you know what, let's get rid of it. I paid £4 for it. So yeah, that's going over to America. Hopefully he obviously knows it's English and he'll have to change the plug. Another thing that I wanted to get rid of, I lowered the price to it, but I actually sold it for quite a good price. I bought this platter, like an Italian platter, like really nice, you know, had tomatoes on embossed, you know, like bumpy embossed. Is embossed? And yeah, I bought it for £1 and it sold for £8. It's really nice, looks brand new, but made a £5 profit of it. It's nice to get rid of stuff like that, which you thought might be sell for a bit more. I knew it wasn't going to sell for much. I thought I could get about £12 out of it, but I lowered it down, and then I'll load it and it went. Another piece of porcelain, and these are things you need to look out for because these are very, very popular. And these are the Keel flying ducks. Usually come in a set of 3 where they're flying and they stick on the wall. Yeah, I picked up one of these, the small one, for £3, and I literally in the same week sold it for £15. Mad. If you have got the whole set, you're looking at £80. Yes, this is something that is very, very popular. Even my mom knew what it was because used to be on Hilga Opton's wall or something in Coronation Street. Very, very famous. So if you do see these, go and buy them. One more, which I'm going to tell you about before I tell you about my vintage robot and what it sold for. I bought a hose, and that when I was actually, before reselling, I was going to go into car valeting, and I bought a Hozelock thing, and it came with loads of like extras and stuff like that. And I've had this lying around in the shed for ages, and it's one of them Hozelock multi sprayers, you know, that spins around to water your garden and stuff. And I thought, it's brand new. It's not been opened. It's still got the seals on and everything. So I put it on. Literally in half an hour, it gone. $16.99. Absolutely free because it was part of that set. Yeah. So if you see anything to do with Hozelock or anything like that, garden at the moment is going to be big seller. So anything to do with gardening, get it because it will sell. Well, now obviously it's time to tell you about my toy. I'm actually quite sad. It's gone. It went today, and yeah, my vintage Shogun's Warriors from the 1970s has been sold. It got to a stage where I didn't know what to do. I wanted to sell it for what it was worth, and I was thinking about taking to a toy auction. There's one in Middlesbrough. They do it on TV, and I was thinking about taking it there or somewhere nearer. And I was thinking, well, what about if he doesn't get the money and all the traveling? Would it make a good, YouTube video? And I was thinking, I just can't be bothered. You know what? But I'll try this first. So I put it actually on auction, and I started it off at, I can't remember what I started off now. I started it off at £150 for 5 days, finishing at a perfect time on a Saturday night. And literally in the first couple of days, there was 14 watches, loads of views, and I thought, yes, it's gonna go. But until the last day, no one had bid. Then somebody came in and bid 180, but it came up with 2 bids, so they actually reserved another bid, so somebody bids it or counter bid it. So I was quite excited about knowing it sold, but I thought £180 is still cheap for what this was. If you didn't know, I did a video about it. This toy, it was a 1970s Japanese toy with Mattel made for the Japanese market. Like, basically they're like big robots where men go in them and they fight monsters. One of the monsters was Godzilla. They had the comic series and all that lot for it. Very big back in that time in the 1970s. And the one I had was a very rare one. So yeah, didn't have a box or nothing. So I was thinking, yeah, it's got to be worth something. It has been sold on other sites for about £450. So I wanted at least £300. I didn't get £300, but I'm not really bothered because I paid £4 for it. It finally sold. I was going for 190, and last minute, boom! Somebody put £231.80p. I don't know how you get that in an auction, the 80p, but yeah, it went. It's going to somebody in England as well, so that's brilliant. I don't have to worry about it traveling to a different country and then obviously say, oh, I'm not paying for shipping. And yeah, it's gone. After fees, I made £204. So I would say if you see any of these, get them, but they're so rare, you probably won't see one in your life. You'd be very lucky if you get one of these. But anything from that Japanese market, in the 70s, 60s, 70s, it's hot property. And there's things that are even more expensive than this. So yeah, it's gone. I am actually pretty gutted. I looked it and I was like, what do I want it to go? And I went, yeah, it's got to go. It's got to go. So that made a very big lump sum of my profit this week. So yeah, I was really happy. But finishing off with what I actually sold as well. I sold a Staffordshire milk jug. It was only a cheap one. I paid like £2 for it, sold for £5. Sold some Salomon Snowblades. I paid £9 for them. I sold it for £36. Also, I sold a Kenwood cassette player for a car. Beautiful. These are big things, even if you want to get, because obviously people do their old retro cars and they want the original stereos. Picked this up for £155 from the girl you might have seen in my last video. I was talking to her for a bit. Yeah, sold it for £30. Also, another thing to go and look for is JVC, or any make really, which are VHS DVD players. I picked up one, which was a JVC one, for £2. It was all working, and I sold it for 40. Absolutely mental how much they go for. And then finally, to finish off, which was one of probably, I actually think it's probably one of my best sales. I picked up a bundle of speakers. So I picked up the Beats red head, you know, the mouth thing with a speaker, which wasn't the Beats one. I picked up a Sony portable Bluetooth speaker, and I picked up an LG X boombox. It's probably about this big. The picture's up there. I picked them all up for 20 quid from one of my local charity shops, and this sold for £70. Yeah. So it worked out. I paid about £7 if I split the bits up individually. Yeah. So yeah, I paid £7 for it, and it makes a profit about £51. So then, like I said, that is it. In total, I spent £103.99 for all the stuff I've told you about. Before fees and all that lot, this came up to £830.36. Take off fees, and I'm left with £642.23. One of my best weeks ever. Not saying it's going to be like that every week, because I did sell my old toy. But yeah, absolute brilliant. And before I finish, I want to question something that somebody made a comment on my last video, saying it's only profit when you sell it. And I said to this person, hopefully you're watching, he's still watching now. A lot of people resell, a lot of people do YouTube, a lot of people do lots of things. But sometimes they give up because they either haven't got the heart for it, they want everything straight away, they look at other people and want to be like them, and then when they can't get it, they quit. And he said, or she said, your money basically will dry out and you won't be able to buy anything. I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't making money, because I wouldn't be able to go out and buy more stuff. Obviously, the profit here, you would have to take off this profit. You know, I have so much expenses buying throughout the month, but the profit outweighs the stuff I buy. I don't have to buy loads of stuff. I don't have to buy expensive stuff, and that's why you need to get the experience in what you do. If you're really knowledgeable in one particular area, just stick with that and make money off that, because you will know more about stuff than other people. I particularly don't know much about anything. I got a good eye, you know. Toys, I've got a good eye, as you see. When I see something that I see is quite rare, I can pick it out. You know, sporting stuff I'm very good at. You know, I've always been into my sports. Most sports I'm quite knowledgeable about. My dad was a very keen golfer. He used to spend thousands of pounds on golf clubs. So when I see golf stuff, I know it's going to be worth more or worth nothing. And that's what you got to do. You got to outweigh what you buy and make sure it can sell for a lot more. But it's not just about how much you can make, it's about if you can sell it. Like some of the things I got rid of basically just to get my money back, because I'm not an expert in pottery. I'm not an expert in like homeware goods, because what I like somebody else won't like. But there's certain homeware which is like a guaranteed sell. If you've got a Clarice Clift piece of pottery, it's world known that it's one of the best selling products, you know, for porcelain, you know, pottery in the world. So if you can find one of them for about £3 or £4 and sell it for about £70, you know, it's going to sell. But you just need to know what you're doing. You can't just go out into a car boot and go, right, oh, I like that, oh, I like that, or I like that, or I like that, because you will not get anywhere from it. You need to make sure that it can sell, or look at the sales. Like I say, you always look on the sold part, but also look how many people have sold it. If it's only sold 2 things, then it's not probably worth getting. If it's something that's got to be worth 20, 30 quid, because it's probably going to lag around. Obviously, my robot, there was none on there, but it's something that a collector would have. You know, you're always going to find something. Like I found a Maserati retro old coat. There's none on there. I can't find it anywhere. But does that mean it's not going to sell? No, because it's probably maybe the only one in Europe. It could be the only one in the world. There could be other ones, but they're in somebody's collection. So stuff like that, then you have to take the risk. But for mostly your bread and butter money, you know, like for instance, bread and butter money for me, phones, you know, cordless phones, BT phones, you can pick them up for £2-3. You're going to sell them 15, 20, £25 if they're new. Toys, you know, your good toys, very popular toys, your Transformers, your Godzillas, you know, your Marvel stuff. If you can pick up a toy for £2, you probably sell it for £10-15, and they will sell constantly. So if you can get job lots and that, yeah, that's how you make your money. And then sometimes you just get a couple of gems, you know. Obviously seasonal stuff as well. At the moment, gardening is going to be popular, you know, golfing, outdoor sports, camping gear. There's something I saw today. It's basically it's a huge standing up tent, one of the really big ones. It's worth £350 on eBay, you know, sold ones. But they won £100 in the charity shop, and it's like, do I risk it? Is it all there? So I'm going to do some research on that tonight, and then see what it actually comes with, and then I will check tomorrow, and if it's all there, I'll buy it. So you just got to look. But yeah, it was a good week for me, very good week. Like I say, I'm doing a challenge. I'm going to do the video tomorrow, the first one, where I'm basically going to go from 0 to Disneyland series for 12 episodes, and it's going to finish next year in June. It's something that I want to do for me and my son. Basically, I'm going to pay for a trip for me and my son to go to Disneyland, by reselling. So every month I'm going to show you what I get, and go out on day out with you and show you what I pick up, potential profit on that. And then the next month I'll show you what's sold from the previous month. Have a big jar, put it in there, because I do see a lot of people saying potential profit. I've had it on me. Oh, that's potential profit. Today I proved to you it's not potential profit, because most of the time it is profit. But I want to show you that you can actually do it, and this won't be potential profit. So it's going to be a really good series. Obviously, it's going to be really good for me as well and my son. And I will be trying my hardest to buy the best stuff on that one day, because I'm only going to be picking one day a month, and then that stuff what I picked on that day is basically, when it gets sold, it's going in the jar and it's towards Disneyland. So thank you for watching. Bit of a long one, but it was worth it, wasn't it?